What is up guys, and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video, and welcome to something I call Mayhem 3 versus Mayhem 4. This is something new to the channel and a series that I will be doing, so if you do want to see more of this series, make sure to leave that like button. But let's get straight into the first episode of this series. And what better boss to try Mayhem 3 versus Mayhem 4 on than the original OG Graveward. So just a few tips if you've never eliminated Graveward before and this is like your first time playing Borderlands. He is located on Eden 6 at the floating tomb. You just fast travel there and you'll be at the boss. All you have to do is jump down after you've got your ammo and whatever. Main tricks, his main critical hit spot is the red circle in the middle of his chest. He also has 3 circles on his head which can do critical damage, and when he does slam the ball arm, that does take critical damage as well. You want to be using incendiary weapons because he is weak to fire, so if you have a fire Lyuda, a Kutzman works well, anything that does high fire damage, he will be weak to that and you'll be able to get the kills done quickly. With flak, obviously you have fadeaway, and that makes it so most people go for a flak when doing Graveward because they use a Lyuda, put fadeaway on, and spam the chest after the platform has been tilted. You just want to make sure you don't slide off. When it stops tilting, make sure you don't get in the way of the green orbs that do flow down, and take your chance at shooting at his chest while he's not moving. And if you do a high amount of damage, you should be able to get him done in a few seconds with that. Once you do eliminate him, the gateway will open and you'll be able to go into the vault. Just go in there, open the 4 chests and rinse and repeat, save and quit and do it all over again. And that is the best way to farm Graveward. He is one of the easiest bosses to do. All you need is a fire weapon and some good accuracy and you'll be alright. So the idea of this series is to see whether it is worth actually farming a boss in Mayhem 4 compared to Mayhem 3, and to look at all the different drops that they do, the different legendaries, anointments, class mods and artifacts, and see how much of the dedicated drops specific to that boss actually are dropped within the game, and whether you get more on Mayhem 4 or you get more on Mayhem 3. Just to put it out there, I did do this on normal mode, not true Vault Hunter mode, just so that more people who maybe haven't done the story again can just do one story on a new character, put it onto Mayhem mode when they've finished, and then farm the bosses. Obviously true Vault Hunter mode makes it a little bit harder and you might get better loot, but this is just normal mode just to put it out there. So getting straight into the drops, we'll start with Mayhem 3 and then afterwards we'll go on to Mayhem 4. So I did a total of 50 kills, 25 to each Mayhem mode, so 25 kills on Mayhem 4, 25 kills on Mayhem 3. With Mayhem 3 we got a total of 43 legendaries, 12 of those were anointed, 7 class mods and only 4 artifacts. After every single Graveward elimination, I did go and open the 4 chests in the vault, and the total number of legendaries from those chests on Mayhem 3 for the 25 eliminations was 8 legendaries. So it is just under half, so you're getting an average of 2 legendaries per run for Mayhem 3. But they were a bit scattered around because sometimes you'd get 4, sometimes you wouldn't get any at all. I think I only had 4 runs where I didn't get any legendaries from Graveward on Mayhem 3. But obviously it is a lot quicker on Mayhem 3, which we'll get into when looking at the Mayhem 4 drops. So on Mayhem 4, the total number of legendaries that was achieved was 84, so a significant increase from Mayhem 3. The anointments was 21, we got 10 class mods, 4 artifacts, so the same as Mayhem 3 actually, and when opening the chests after the 25 eliminations, we did get 16, so that was double the amount of legendaries than Mayhem 3. Most of the things are doubled compared to Mayhem 3, but there is a drawback. I was using a Mose build to take down Graveward, so obviously Flak could do a bit better in that area. I didn't have a Fire Lyuda, I just used a Standard and a Flame Cutsman. When eliminating Graveward with this Mose build, on Mayhem 3 I was getting anywhere between 20 to a minute on the kill time. When you go, depending obviously on which drawbacks and pluses were added to that Mayhem mode, whether the incendiary damage was decreased and all those factors that add into Mayhem 3. When moving on to Mayhem 4, they obviously only have the +1 good Mayhem modifier and 1 bad Mayhem modifier, but all the bosses and every enemy in the game gets a plus 850% health boost along with a load of other increases. This meant that on Mayhem 4, with the most exact same build as I was using in Mayhem 3, the kill time could go between anywhere from 4 to 7 or 8 minutes. A dramatic increase in the time it took to actually eliminate the boss, because Mayhem 4 is a lot harder. So when you actually look at it, you may have got double the amount of legendaries and other aspects in Mayhem 4, but it also took a considerable longer amount of time to do. And if you was to just spend all that amount of time in Mayhem 3, you would have most likely got the exact same amount of legendaries or even more, because you would have had more eliminations within the time that was spent. It took me a lot longer to get 25 kills in Mayhem 4 than it did in Mayhem 3. So for me on Graveward personally, I would have gone with Mayhem 3 more. There was no Mayhem 4 drops, specific ones in that mode from Graveward, and the dedicated drops on Mayhem 3, he does obviously drop the Lob shotgun, Moxie's grenade, and the specific drops to him are the Grave and the Ward, so the Ward shield and the Grave artifact. Mayhem 3 I managed to get 4 of the dedicated drops out of 25 kills. And on Mayhem 4 I managed to get 6 of the dedicated drops, so there wasn't that much of a difference between them. And that is my thoughts on the Graveward farm. I would personally, for most of you, go on Mayhem 3, it's a lot easier, but if you have a build that you can destroy Graveward really quickly in Mayhem 4, then obviously go for that because the loot is better. And with that being said, that is the first episode of Mayhem 3 versus Mayhem 4. Drop a comment down below on what boss you want to see next for this series. Leave a like if you did enjoy this series and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video and it was helpful for you, and I'll see you all in the next Mayhem 3 versus Mayhem 4 video soon.